Hello everyone. Coming back to the next lecture. Everyone knows my name, myself, Dr. G. Venkatnalachandra, assistant professor at SR University in the Department of Civil Engineering. So right now we are discussing about the Fecal Septage Sludge management. That short word we used as FSSM. So in the previous lecture, we discussed about the what is the meaning of FSSM. So and what are the policies, regulatory framework. So what are the challenges we faced, and before going to the treatment, what are the kind of characterization we need to go for it. So I will explain you briefly about the fecal septic sludge management. What is the meaning of that ones? First of all, we need to sludge, collect the sludge from the source. The next one will be the transportation, then treatment, and the last option will be the reuse or dispose on the environment. This is called as FSSM. So what is the kind of regulatory frameworks in the for improving of the quality of life? Means the government of India proposed different missions to decontaminate the sludge. Government of India constructed different toilets so that whatever the human excreta or toilet wastewater, those can store at one place, so that the storage sludge will be collected and transported and treatment and disposed. So next will be the means before going to the treatment, we need to understand the characterization of sludge. In that, there will be three different characterizations. One will be the physical characterization, then the chemical characterization, then biological characterization. Here in the physical, so here we need to calculate the pH, and what will be the TDS level, and these are the some of the characterizations we need to go for it. Then chemical we need to go for the BOD, and COD is the two important parameters, and biologically we need to understand the different kinds of pathogens. These are the three important parameters before going the treatment. Means how we can collect the sampling. So as we explained, uh, so characterization, we need to collect the samples. How to collect? There will be two techniques. One will be the graph sampling. Second one is the composite sampling. Graph sampling means here one sample in one location at what particular time, that is called as graph sample. Generally, graph sample is represent as single collection of sample. Composite sample means at a specific location at a different time intervals we need to collect different samples. That is called as composite samples. If you are taking the, for suppose today you are collecting one sample in a particular location, and 9 o'clock 10 o'clock you are collecting the sample at the same location. 9 o'clock 10 o'clock 11 o'clock, all the samples you are collecting and pouring in a one bottle and mix well. That is called as composite samples. Generally composite sample will be a reliability for conducting the different physical chemical characterization. So next one will be the so these are the based on this characterization we need to understand the different health impacts on the public or ecology. So here improper management of fecal sludge leads to serious health and environmental problems. So when sludge is not treated properly, it can contaminate the water, soil, and air, affecting the both ecosystem and human populations. See here what are the sludge is generated from the households. We are not treating. We are collecting, simply collecting and transporting and disposing in a in some areas where people are not living. What will happen ultimately? soil get contaminated and means in decades, so then it percolates and groundwater as well as the surface waters get contaminated. So it is means dangerous to the ecosystem as well as the means human populations. So unsafe sludge disposal will direct risk to the human health and environment. That's why we need to go for the proper management option for the fecal sludge. So see here means the pathways of contamination. See here means one person is releasing excreta. So these are the different pathways. See here different pathways. So these are the pathways of contamination. Here water pathway, then soil pathway, then food pathway, then vector pathway. See here, generally means fecal sludge will be transformed from one place to another parcel or one place to another place. It could be means through the different pathways. Those things we'll discuss here. So one will be the water pathway, then leaching into the groundwater and surface water. That is called as water pathway. The soil pathway will be the direct dumping on the land. If you direct dumping on the land, soil will be the contaminated. So means India is an agriculture country. So year crops will contain different microorganisms if we are growing on the same land. Then food pathway. So if you are growing means crops on the same land where you disposed on the same soil, so what are the contaminants present in the soil? It will be uptake by the plants, and finally it reaches the means humans, and also it will be contaminate the water. This is called as food pathway. Then vector pathway, flies and insects carrying this kind of pathogens from human from that excreta to humans. So excreta to water and soil. So these are the different pathways of contamination. This is known as fecal oral transmission route. So impacts on the water resource. See, means if you are means what are the means weaker sludge you are collecting. So you are disposing means outskirts of the city. Going option as the landfills. What will happen? So in landfill you are choosing. So sludge you are disposing here. Then whatever the means liquid waste that will be percolated in the soil. It reaches the aquifer ultimately. So landfill option will be a problem to the ecology as well as the environment. Means that will happen to the seepage. Then next will be the if you are applying different pesticides to the field areas and fertilizers, soil is contaminated. The soil contains different metals, excess nutrients that will be means leakage into the soil layer and ultimately this is the aquifer. Means in rural areas, particularly in India, we are almost 85 to 90 percentage of water taking from the bore wells or well. So what are the contaminated water we are taking again? So we are taking that means our health will be spoiled. So this is the one of the impact on the water resources. So that's why we need to manage the say fecal septic sludge. So impact on the water resource. See, if it is groundwater contamination, if it is leaching off, it contains nitrates and pathogens. So pathogens will create different health problems, cholera, diarrhea, different problems, nitrates in children's main problem with the blue baby syndrome. So finally, this groundwater is not suitable for the drinking purpose. So if you are taking, these are the problems will be happen to the humans. Then what is the surface water pollution? If you are means what are the wastewater means generated from the septic tank, you are directly discharged on the rivers or lakes. What will happen? So initially the BOD concentration will be high. If BOD is concentration high, what will happen? Then means it is BOD means biodegradable organic matter. The biodegradable organic matter present in the water. So what will happen? So what are the bacteria? It will be degraded this organic matter. In the degradation process, what will happen? Oxygen deficit will be happen. So if oxygen deficit happen, what will happen? So ecosystem animals may disturb. Then fish also will be die. So what will be the means means allowable DO in the fresh water? It is around 4 milligram per liter. Next one, the UFET's content excess nitrates and phosphorus. What will happen? Means algal blooms will be happen. Means it will be disturb the aquatic ecosystem. That is called as eutrophication. And impacts on the soil. In the first, it is accumulation of this one will be pathogens and organic matter and heavy metals. These are the three means important problems and alter the soil quality and structure. It is not means after it alter the soil quality and structure, it won't be useful for the field applications. Can enter food chain through the different crops. So soil contamination is influenced by continuous exposure to the effects. So now tell me means what is the public health impacts? So means if you are drinking the contaminated water, cholera, botulism, diarrhea, typhoid, these are the different problems may occur to the humans. So these are the different impacts. Maybe depletion of dissolved oxygen in the water bodies, as we already discussed. Means fecal sludge generally contain the BOD matter. If you are disposing this BOD matter on the means water body, what will happen? Microorganisms trying to kill the means organic matter. In the process, it oxygen levels also will be means reduced. If DO levels will be reduced in the freshwater body, then it will be the so means whatever the fishes it will be die. Then next one with the loss of aquatic biodiversity. Then foul odor and air pollution will be occurred due to these degradation process. Then methane, hydrogen sulfate gas will be released. Then last one is the degradation of ecosystems. What are the socio-economic impacts? Increase healthcare cost means most of the people are suffering with the different diseases if you are taking these contaminated water. That's why shortage of healthcare facilities. Ultimately, it will be increase the healthcare facilities. Then reduce the productivity. Then if the soil is contaminated, yield also will be reduced. Yield if is reduced means food scarcity will be happen, and then ultimately economy also will be lost. Then impact on the quality of life also will be put disproportionate effect on low income communities. See here means as for this lecture we discussed impacts. If you are not properly manage the fecal, septage, sludge, what are the probable means impacts? Before understand the impacts, we discussed the different pathways. What are the pathways? Means what is the soil? First one is the soil pathway. Soil pathway means soil is contaminated, and if you grow the crops, what will happen? What are the contaminants present in the soil? It will be uptaken by the plants. Ultimately the contaminated food we are taking. That is one problem. Second one will be the if you dispose onto the fresh water bodies like rivers and lakes, what will happen? Water get contaminated. So in the means in the process of degrade of organic matter, DO levels will be decreased, and means fish and aquatic animals may be die. And after means next one will be the uh, air contamination also will be happen during the degradation process. Means different gases will be released. And next one is the insects. maybe different kinds of insect, they are transporting different pathogens to one place to another place. That's why this contamination will be spread. So after knowing these pathways, we understood the what are the means problems if soil is contaminated. This kind of fecal sludge, water, and air, uh, and surface water as well as the groundwater. So these are the impacts on the means environment and as well as on the humans. So next option will be the managing the fecal septic loss will be the treatment. So means what is the means real meaning of treatment will be the so to remove the pathogens. So we already discussed biological characterization. Here means different kinds of bad pathogens existed. So first objective would be the remove of pathogens. Next one would be the it contains COD concentration, BOD concentration will be high. So we need to reduce it. Then next one is the stabilize sludge and reduce the other order. So here we need to stabilize the sludge means what are the means sludge after treatment we need to means stabilize means what are the contaminants, what are the metals, maybe what are the means characterizations existed after treatment, we need to stabilize. It won't be moving one place to another place. If it is moving, it is transportation, it will be oxidized, then contamination chain also will be moving. So we need to stop it. So we can means what are the sludge after treatment we can use for the different means applications in the field of civil engineering. So one of the means treatment converts unsafe sludge into the safe and reusable resources. So means we already discussed a kind of objectives. Here means what is the real objectives of treatment and what are the methods existed for the means treating of this kind of contaminants. The first objective should be the pathogens removal discussed, reduction of solids and organic matter, then odor control, means volume reduction. So here generally semi-solid means it contains solid as well as the water. For reduction of these uh, sludge, we need to go for the different techniques that is called as volume reduction. Means whatever the means excess water present in the this fecal sludge, we need to remove using the mechanical compressor with a manual compressor. So we can remove the water. The sludge content will be very less. If your content of sludge is very less, then we can go for the different approaches. So that is the volume reduction. Then resource recovery. So what are the slabs after the volume reduction? We can go for the means based on the organic contents. We can go for the aerobic or anaerobic conditions. If it is the organic content is more, then we need to go for the anaerobic digestion. So what are the gases released during this operation? We can save it and we can use it for different purpose. If you are going for the means aerobic degradation, so here is the best option will be the uh, composting. So what are the end products coming as the compost? It will be used as the fertilizer. Then fecal/sludge treatment methods are broadly classified into natural systems, biological process, mechanical or advanced systems. As we already discussed two methods, that is the aerobic or anaerobic, those methods are biological process, then natural systems and mechanical advanced systems. So those methods we will discuss so one by one. So what is a natural treatment system? It is generally called as low cost or commonly used in a day-to-day life. So here is the drying beds. So as we already discussed, we knew one of the objective could be the volume reduction. How to reduce the volume? So here one of the option will be the drying beds. So here sludge is spread over the sand beds. So water drains and evaporated. The producer dried sludge. See here, your means what are the sludge we are collecting. So which means we spread over a sand layer. So what will happen due to the means sun heat? What are the water present in the sludge? It get evaporated, or maybe it will be get drained away from the sludge. So means this is called as dried sludge. What is the advantage of this technique would be the, so we are not utilizing any energy, so it is called as low cost, and it is simply operation. There will be no maintenance, no expenses behind this, no technical labor also is not required. And coming to the limitation here, means one of the major limitation will be the, it requires large land area. So we, why it is required large land area means we need to spread this large in a, means in a sand bed. So it's required more area. If you are means spreading in a small area, what will happen? The evaporation will be reduced, and draining capacity also will be reduced. For that, we need to spread in a large area so that means water get evaporated, water gets drained. Um, Next method will be the waste stabilization ponds. So uses natural process. So here different kinds of ponds existed, means anaerobic pond, facultative pond, and maturation pond. These are the different means ponds. Generally, these techniques, waste stabilization ponds technique, uses different kinds of natural process. Those are means with the help of sunlight, algae, or bacteria. Use of these natural process, we can degrade the fecal, septage, sludge. These are the effective for organic matter removal and pathogen reductions. So coming to the biological treatment, the first one with the anaerobic digestion. Here, see here in the left side, there will be one biogas plant. Here, whatever the means waste you are feeding to the anaerobic reactor, uh, then gas will be released. Gas we can collect at a means a particular location, and outlet pipe will be the, so liquid waste that will be sent to the soak pit. It can filter and reaches the aquifer that is not containing pathogens. So next one will be, during this process, what will happen? Biogas will be released. That is one of the major gas will be the methane. Generally, methane is used as the cooking gas. Then what are the benefits? It is the energy recovery. Here we are not using any gas, any means electricity and nothing. So sludge stabilization. Sludge will be reduced. Why sludge will be reduced means in anaerobic conditions, sludge generation. Here anaerobic digestion completed. Next one will be the aerobic digestion. Here aerobic decomposition of sludge will be happen. It produces the nutrient rich compost that is called as composting. Then generally this material will be used in the agricultural field areas. Next one is the co-composting. What is the meaning of co-composting? Mixing sludge with the organic waste. It improves the compost quality. This is the one of the technique. So next one is the mechanical or advanced treatment technologies. First one is the dewatering systems. As we already discussed volume reduction. For volume reduction, we need to go for the dewatering techniques. Mechanical removal of water. It could be equipment. We can use centrifuge, belt press. These are the two techniques we can dewatering the systems. Then next one is the constructed wetlands. Uses different kinds of plants and microorganisms. So it's kind of natural filtration, and it can degrade the organic matter, and ultimately it filters, and finally it can treat the of particular fecal septic sludge. Next one is the decentralized system. This is the small scale treatment system suitable for rural and semi-urban areas. So these are the means we discussed three methods. One is the means kind of natural process. Next one will be the means anaerobic slash aerobic digestion. Then last one is the mechanical or means natural process using the water removal. These are the three techniques. In that drying beds here, then drying beds means we discussed already. No natural resource means with the use of natural resource, we are means remove the water content from the sludge. So ultimately it is a low cost, and means what are the limitation here will be the uh, means land requirement will be high, then efficiency will be this is moderate. So coming to the waste stabilization point, here we are using the natural resources such as sunlight, algae, bacteria. We are removing the organic matter. So then cost will be the here also natural process origin cost will be less. Then land requirement here we need to dig a means kind of pond. This required land also more. Then efficiency here efficiency will be more. So and coming to the anaerobic digestion. What is the anaerobic digestion? Here in the absence of oxygen, what are the organisms? It will be degrade the organic matter. That is called as anaerobic means digestion. Here the initial cost will be medium. Why it is medium means we need to design a particular reactor, the inlet pipe, outlet pipe, then gas collection pipe, everything we need to design. So initial cost will be means more means medium, then land requirement here will be compared to other methods it will be moderate, then efficiency here is high. The coming to the mechanical systems means with the use of mechanical or centrifuge we are dewatering the means dewatering from the sludge means it is the cost would be high means we are using the electricity here, the initial cost and means setting the different units will be the cost. Then land requirement will be very less compared to the other methods, but means compared to the other method the efficiency will be very high in the mechanical systems. So next option will be the means treatment done, then recovery means nowadays we are means adopting the sustainable development goals. In that we need to whatever the waste is generated, first of all we need to reduce it, reuse and recycle. So these are the options we need to follow. So then only we can achieve the sustainability development goals. In that, so last option will be the recovery. What is the meaning of recovery? Because sludge management is not only about the treatment and disposal, it also focuses on the resource recovery and reuse, converting waste into the useful product like energy, water, and nutrients. Then waste here becomes as a resource when properly treated. That is called as waste. That is the means good option of recovery. So what is the means real concepts of recovery? The convert treated sludge into the valuable products. So we already discussed. Then compost it get produced during aerobic digestion, and the gases will be released during anaerobic digestion. So those means gases are composting we can sell into the market. So that is called as converted treated sludge into the valuable products and support circular economy. What is the meaning of circular economy means what are the waste is producing from the particular industry or whatever it may be, so it cannot be disposed on the land, it can be used as the raw material for the making of another product. So it is called as circular economy. It is generated the means economy, it won't contaminate the means environment. That is called as circular economy. And means if you are following the circular economy means principles, so what will happen ultimately it reduces the environmental pollutions. If you are not disposing on the environment, what will happen ultimately it will be reduce the pollution and minimize waste and disposal issues. So means you are not throwing on the environment, and ultimately to minimize the waste disposal sites, no need to treat and you need to manage the solid waste if you are not disposing on the environment. So that is the main advantage of this recovery. No, you understood the means meaning of recovery means what are the types of resource recovery. So first one is the energy recovery means we discussed several times. What is the energy recovery? Produced through the anaerobic digestion. So one of the major gas will be the methane rich gas that is generally used in a day-to-day life as cooking, electricity generation. So ultimately it reduces the depend on the fossil fuels. Means if you are generating the electricity while managing the solid waste, so ultimately no need to depend on the fossil fuels. Generally in India, 55% of country will depend on the coal means thermal power plants. If we are depending on this coal generation electricity, what will happen? Several impacts on the environment. So means by natural process we are generating the electricity, then ultimately load on the environment also will be reduced. The next one will be the nutrient recovery. If we are opting the means aerobic digestion, so what are the means end product that contains rich of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So it is generally used as the soil conditioner, organic fertilizers. Must be properly treated to remove pathogens. One of the major limitation will be the pathogens it contains. So we need to properly treat this waste. This is a continuation. See here, the means water usage, treated effluent means we are treating the wastewater. So what are the wastewater after treating? We can use for the different purpose, irrigation or landscaping, different industrial purpose. So ultimately, it reduces the freshwater demand. No need to take means fresh water from the lakes or rivers. So this is the benefits of resource recovery, then environmental protection, reducing the waste volume, economic benefit, support sustainable agriculture. Ultimately, we can achieve the circular economy. Though these are the safety consideration, we need to consider one of the thing will be the proper treatment before reuse. Pathogens removal is essential. Use of PPE kits during the handling of this fecal septic sludge. Then finally, after treating of this sludge, we need to check the compost quality, irrigation reuse. So these are the standards or guidelines the WHO given guidelines for safe reuse, national standards for compost quality, effluent discharge, monitoring parameters, pathogens, nutrients, heavy metals, BOD, COD. So these are the some of the case studies they are implementing in the different cities in worldwide. Means one of the example in Karnataka means Warangal, so Ghana, Bangladesh. So thank you very much.